Oh, there we go.
That's new.
That's no, yeah. I never heard that before, but anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, good morning. Let's get started. Hey, I'll see you in about an hour. Don't know where we're going, what we're doing normal. See you again soon. Now's time.
Okay.
Today we will continue our discussion and work through some of the battles of the mind with the ego, some choices that you have to face, some of the qualities that you could call upon to use, when used correctly, give you very different results to those which are to when they are used instinctively. And as we've said before, sometimes you could read the Bible as this battle of the mind, the battle of the ego, one man's journey to use the qualities of the Creator, the purity. Now, I will not do the talk today, as these two qualities that we will mention today are within the realms of another. Now, these qualities, when they come, and the guide that will make the appearance, are represented by this medium, and through this medium with the color yellow which is behind him. It is the guide that is his main guide, the guide that has guided him through all of his life. Now, the color yellow, for some, if you wish to follow other beliefs, particularly of Madame Blavatsky and Alice Bailey, and others, of course, which talk very commonly about the seven rays, the rays or expressions of the Creator. Now, that second ray is represented by the color yellow and the qualities of love and wisdom. And you'll hear that mentioned today, but with other words. And this is why the other guide is doing the communication, because he belongs on that ray. If you wish to describe it as such. So let us go, and let us listen to what he has to say. Mankind is always faced with the decision of truth and love. Should I do what is true, or should I do what I need to do with love? And you think that the two are inseparable. But of course there are times when this is challenged. Should I react with love, or should I do what is true and right? Within the Bible there are the third and fourth disciple, which were brothers. James the just and John the beloved. Now, as with any other brothers, they can fight or they can stand side by side. They often clash in their point of view. But when they are on the same track, then they fight as one and work together correctly. And of course, this is your mind. Your mind, when confronted with a person that you love dearly but is doing the wrong thing. How should you act? What should you do? Which one wins, judgment or the administration of love? So to the impure mind, there is often a choice between the two. But to the pure mind, there is no choice at all. You will be confronted with this decision. You will be confronted with the choice of how you behave. Should you follow your teaching, or should you ignore your teaching and follow the love of your partner? Now, with the act of judgment, we can be very easily swayed from one point of view to another. So true judgment, when it is disciplined, when it is working purely and true, it should have a blindfold. A blindfold between the decisions of right or wrong, so it is not influenced by external sources. It is not influenced by the body appearances. It listens to only that which fills the heart. So the judgment you are confronted with becomes in line with the quality of love. Some say that you must always do what is right. And this is the way of the Dharma. And if you follow the Dharma, then you must become a Buddha. The rules are there for happiness. Yet it appears the rules are there to stop happiness. So this way there is always indecision over what is right and what is wrong. Is it right to help one at the expense of another? Do I help one at the expense of more people? Here the story is of the shepherd that has 100 sheep, and one sheep wanders off and gets lost. Now the shepherd is confronted with a decision. Do I stay with the 99 and risk them to leave to get the one, or not? But anybody who has experience of this knows that the shepherd will leave the 99 to find the one. Because there's love in his heart for all sheep. You should remember this story with your decisions. But should the decisions always be made with love? If love was your sole guide, then your decisions can become very wishy-washy. No structure, no order. And you can see why the blindfold then is on the one who must judge. So he knows not whether that sheep that has left is his favorite sheep or not, or the sheep that he dislikes the most. Every sheep should be treated equally. This also is an important point. Important to make sure your heart is working true and your mind is in play. But how do you make this decision then? You love your partner, but your partner is not healthy for you. Do you stay or do you go? You love your job, but it is affecting your health. Do you stay or do you go? You know you should exercise, but there is something nice to eat and some other entertainment to preoccupy you. Do you do it or not? Some say this is the angel and the devil. What is right, what is wrong? How do you make these decisions? It is only a matter of time before you confront them yourself. They are not uncommon. Maybe their intensity changes from, let us say, life or death situation to something more trivial. But in the Bible, these two are brothers. Our decisions come together, and therefore the answer comes at the same time. the challenge and the answer always arrive together. You just need to wake up to what is the answer, and that may take you time. You should write that down. Within the Buddha Diamond Sutra, he says that those who cling to the Dharma like a raft must learn at some stage to let go of the raft. Meaning, if you hold the truth and work by the law, at some stage it comes to a point of decision where you will be confronted with having to let go. So here again, as I said to begin, when decisions are made, we act with the way that fills your heart with love. It is always said that man's greatest journey, its most difficult journey, the longest journey, is the journey from head to heart. Think of your life. Are you on the journey from head to heart? Have you been told before that you must use your heart? Have you been told that you use too much of your head? Do you follow too many rules and not enough passion? Is there anybody that would disagree with me? I am sure there is not. So you have judgment and love. It is wisdom then that is required. Wisdom to administer justice, or to administer love, or to bring them both together. So the refined mind then looks for the truth that exists below the judgments and criticisms that can be put on top of another person. You may look at your partner and think they are too grumpy or too lazy or cannot make a decision or are not loving enough. You may look at your work as too difficult, too demanding. It expects too much, takes up too much time, distracts me from what I would like to do. But the disciplined mind sees below all these decisions. The disciplined mind sees what is true. The disciplined mind sees the spiritual form that exists. The disciplined mind sees God in every form, sees every form as an expression of itself. So when you see another that is behaving wrong, first see what is true there. See the spirit. See the love that exists from that spirit. And notice that the bad behavior is because they have lost their sight. They have not found their light. They have not found their way. They are lost on the path between head and heart. If you see that spirit or consciousness, if you want to use that term, that exists underneath that physical form, you can let love build in your heart and see the bad behavior as just lost on the path. They too are the spirit that you are. They may not have seen their light yet, but still they are spirit. They may not have found their journey home yet, but still they are spirit. The crimes that they commit, the behavior that is wrong, you look at that or you look at the spirit. If you look at the spirit, then there can be love in your heart, because there is no choice than to have love in your heart now. When you love your partner, you love that spirit. You do not love that body. And when they do something wrong, do you stop loving them? No, you do not. You dislike the behavior, but you still love them. It is when you connect to the spirit that there is love between the two of you. When you lose your sight, then you will have anger within your heart, and you have lost your path. You have not stayed on your path. You have chosen to come off your path and sit in anger. So when you judge another, then have correct sight. And if you remember a previous talk, when the eye is one, the body is full of light. When you see the spirit, you can only find love. Now, this is not so easy. Not so easy to begin with. It takes much memory reassurance. It takes much time to constantly remind yourself, see the Spirit, see the Spirit. But where your attention goes, so does that grow. So you see an anger in another, anger just grows. If you see the Spirit behind the persona, then the connection to Spirit grows. So try sitting, looking at people and deciding what is the same rather than what is the different. Look at another on this screen and say, what is the same in you as in me? Remember, I said, and others have said, a way to determine whether it is ego or spirit is there the act of unifying or the act of separating taking place? Maybe you remember. Now tell me, if you look at your partner and see the sameness, even though they may be behaving badly, is there love in your heart then? Can you agree with this experience? Have you had it? Of course you have. And when you see what you need to do, see then that decision then, is it based in ego or spirit? Bring your spiritual life into your work life. So all of this now sits on the quality of love and wisdom. Wisdom will allow love to rise to the surface. Undisciplined judgment will keep love suppressed. So pure judgment is, with which eyes do I look? I make it sound so simple. Do I look through the eyes of spirit, or do I look through the eyes of ego? Ego is constantly saying, I am damaged, or I will be damaged. I am superior. I would not like to lose this, because then I would be inferior. I hope this is making sense. So bring your spiritual life into your work life by seeing everything as an expression of spirit. It is often asked, and I am sure all of you here, if not most of you here, those listening live and those listening on recording, the most common question is, what is my life purpose? And I have explained this before. Your ego will say, my life purpose is, I have to do this. I have to be the best that. I have to find the greatest expression of myself and leave something behind for future generation. I have to write a book which will help the next people. I have to build a building with my name on top. So life purpose is tied very much to what you do. But your real purpose is, how do you do it? How do you do everything? And with discipline, Spirit will be there in every decision and will leave its mark on every answer. One is doing, one is being. Oh, this is what is meant by bring spirit into your life, so that you can react first from what is permanent, what is constant, what is unchanging, what is true, the spirit self. And then you see that the two brothers are one. The decision is purely spirit self or not. And then love is there. So the pure mind then, you can see how it reacts. Think of a newborn baby that you meet maybe for the first time or the first few times. Is there any judgment of that baby? There is very little, if any. So does love then exist immediately or not? So can you see it is judgment when incorrect gets in the way of love of another? This is the journey between head and heart. And it is the light of wisdom that guide you on that path. So how do you allow more wisdom? How do you allow the correct choice between ego and spirit? How do you see another as spirit? Well, let me say that we are working with the medium. He has heard the words, but has not done the action. We have asked him to conclude a teaching of the spirit within, which will guide. But let us say some things here. And he can figure out his idea at some stage when he is ready. And let him think it is his idea. Your first thing to do is to be aware. To be aware. One of the greatest qualities in your life is choice. Choice of what to eat. The choice of what to buy. The choice of how to act. Now, you would define in your society as a mature society one that has this choice, and an immature society or developing society where there is less choice, less options, where the only choice is far more primary and they just need food or to eat, not choice of food, any food or not food. So your greatest quality is choice, which comes to you with awareness. I can choose to act with head or heart. That is your primary choice, with spirit or with ego. How much spirit do you want in your life? 1%, 10%, 99%. Remember, we push from our side to be in your life. Your confused mind resists us. Your confused mind does not hear us. Your confused mind is too focused on the Dharma, what is right, and not always, how do I love? So I leave you with two thoughts to think of. When you see a baby, there is only love because there is no judgment. When you see your partner, is their judgment. The second is the story of the shepherd and 100 sheep. My friends bring together the two brothers, James and John, the two sides of the head with wisdom, and then both work in the correct measure. And the two brothers working together become very difficult to resist. I trust you understand. Feel what I am saying. Does it come from truth or not? Does it ask anything of you? Does it create separation or unity? Om Shanti. May peace be within your heart. Wisdom with love, judgment guided by love. Wisdom, love, judgment are all needed and required together. And they begin with awareness of choice. We will continue our journey next week. Know that you have heard the truth. You will know in your heart. God bless you all. Don't rub your eyes. Don't rub your eyes.
Very nice, Mike.